Skydiver was released in the arcade in 1978, and a year later was ported to the Atari 2600. Much like the title suggests, you play as a skydiver, with the goal of leaping from a plane and parachuting down onto a landing pad. The closer you are to the ground when you decide to open the chute, the more points you get, with a maximum of 11 points per landing. But you lose 4 points if you hit the ground without opening the chute, so there's risk to your reward. There are 9 jumps per round, so you can max out at 99 points per game. This is one of those rare 2-player only games, as there's no computer opponent. You can play by yourself, however, and go for a high score, but the fun factor level doesn't hold up for too long, so ideally you'd like to have someone to match up against. Each diver gets their own platform in most modes, so your jump is mostly independent of your opponent, as there are no collisions or any interaction between each other. Aside from timing your parachute opening for maximum pointage, you also have to factor in the wind. The speed and direction of the wind is indicated by the flag at the bottom of the screen, and it can really steer you off course if you're not paying enough attention to it. It's not as easy as it looks either, even without the wind. There's some resistance, so it's not easy to simply guide your diver over onto the pad. It's one of those weird cases where delayed controls are actually a benefit to the experience. Other variations include smaller platforms, moving platforms, and a one-platform mode where only one diver can land on the platform for points. This is the only mode where you actually do have some interaction with your opponent, as it's essentially a race. You can also toggle the difficulty switches so the planes go faster, which allows you to handicap one player for competitive balance if so desired. At first glance, Skydiver looks like a plain, one-dimensional game where the novelty wears off pretty quick, but the multiplayer mode has an addicting quality to it, and even going for a high score personal record has its merits. Overall, it's one of those don't judge a book by its cover games.